That one wasn't as good.
That was good.
Welcome back to another episode of What's on Your Mind. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about today. Like the last few days have just been headline after headline. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Ethan, what's on your mind?
Oh, yeah, we're going to start with me?
Yeah.
I had a whole rant about Boston sports prepared, but then my mind drifted and I started thinking about women's soccer for some reason. Okay. And then I started
We've all been there. We've all been there.
started thinking about when that U13 team or whatever beat the women's national team.
Oh my gosh.
That was, what was the score?
7-0.
Oh,
0.
I don't know. Yeah. That's what's on my mind.
But I think that was just a group of young men who,
Dedicated their lives to the sport.
yeah, they just
And they put some,
really wanted it more.
Yeah.
you know?
Dedicated
And-
13 years of their lives.
And that just goes to show what we talked about last episode. Ethan, you brought up if U.S. athletes cared more about soccer and the U.S. cared more about soccer, look where we'd be.
Oh, yeah.
Damn straight.
We'd be sending 13-year-old boys into the Women's World Cup, and we'd be dominating.
The entire world, if we were good at soccer, would just find a new sport to like the most because they hate us so much. They just couldn't stand
They
it.
would adapt hockey in fucking Nigeria.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like a low budget. That's the thing they always say about soccer. All you need is a goal and a ball or whatever. It's like, all right, what other low budget sports are out there that?
Fucking field hockey.
They probably have to create a new sport. It'd be just a mix of all of them together.
No country in the world could overtake
Isn't
us
it?
in
You ever watch Basketball?
Oh,
The movie
Oh,
Basketball?
basketball?
They put together a sport in their driveway to just like school these dudes and it ends up becoming like a world sport.
Have you ever actually played it? with your
Basketball.
Played
friends?
basketball?
It's fun.
No.
Okay, no, that's
My
that.
friends have done it before.
This is actually a whole segment we could probably do of just random sports. You guys see like the sport out there for terrible golfers where it's like it's like soccer golf and like lacrosse golf, like a mix of the two or whatever. Like instead of swinging down on the ball, you can like
There's
launch.
like a club,
Yeah.
There's like a ball. Yeah. I know what
yeah.
you're talking about.
And like people in the comments are like only people who suck at golf
Yeah,
play at this.
people
So
just
obviously
play
I would be
football.
very interested, but no.
I mean, we do have this whiteboard back here. Do we write up the most obscure sports that we could possibly think of throughout the podcast and see who has the most interesting one? I think basketball might be it.
Yeah.
It's not a sport.
As long as I don't have
It's
to
a movie though.
get back to the board to write it.
If you don't cut it out with those freaking springs,
Honestly, just
as he just
Maybe I took his
as
off.
he just casually takes it
Yeah,
out.
no, just keep it off.
no, I didn't take that shit off.
Yeah, you did. I just watched you do
No,
it.
I didn't. I didn't fucking touch
I'm
it.
sorry, guys. I might have G&Ls. I'm sorry, guys.
Somebody's making them at night. Anyway,
Oh yeah, he's making him at night. That's the best analogy for it, really. All right, who wants to go next? Who's got something on their mind?
Seth, what's on your mind, brother?
Moving on. Fabius.
Yeah, no, give me more time. Well, what's been on my feed has only been the NBA trade deadline. So that's been on my mind a lot.
That's been big.
Otherwise, been thinking about how a Black Hawk hits a commercial airliner.
That's insane.
That's a big one.
That's wild. Yeah. That's fucking.
I'm not laughing.
Rest in peace. Hey,
I've thought about that every
mo-
day since it happened. That's
Hey,
also on my mind.
Hey,
Go fluidly.
moment of silence.
What's on my mind?
Moment of silence, so people know we're good people. Okay, that's enough. Anyway,
That's all you deserve.
but no, seriously. I mean,
It's
like
been on
I know
my-
accidents happen. People are human. People make mistakes. But as far as like the category of could have been avoided, I feel like that falls into it.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, when you look at the U.S. military, it's like they're the most prestigious in the world when it comes to tracking things and protecting people. But then something like this happens with a Black Hawk and with, our own civilians.
Right over an airport. too.
Right over an airport. So it
You should
almost
already be on
seems
high
like-
alert.
Don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist,
Oh,
but
God.
Come on now.
Come on now.
Come on now. Like it,
The
you
conspiracy
said,
podcast.
Oh, I forgot which way it was going. Dude, pull back. Pull back and settle.
Like
It's not that easy to fly a helicopter.
No,
we
it's
know.
not.
But I mean, like you would think, like, hey,
Bill
just
Burr can do it.
Bill Burr could
He
do
has
it.
his helicopters.
like
right.
even if
Bill
you were
Burr
a
could do
mile
anything.
away, you'd still have to be like, hey, just remember, we're like a mile away from a civilian airport, so
I explained,
easy.
I explained last episode what happened.
We talked about this last time.
did we?
Yes.
No,
Oh shit.
we gotta find.
I don't know where I was. Anyway,
Remember.
what else you got?
Shit else, dude. I honestly didn't even think we would elaborate on the fucking Blackhawk thing.
I was hoping we wouldn't, dude.
Fair. Hey, what's on your
We're
mind?
not that we're not that podcast
I
guy.
always
Trust
want-
me,
I always
we're not
want-
that
I always want to
podcast.
know what's going on inside the mind of Fabius. Shit.
Well, you know,
what's going on in there?
the sports world is slowly coming to not so much an end, but we're slowly grooving out of the football season and the other seasons, and or easing into another season. But the one thing that I've been thinking about, if you guys have seen it, have you seen hockey, basketball, and hockey football, where they're on the ice and they're playing either basketball or they're playing football? They got the lines mapped out, and
Never seen
everything.
that.
I've seen.
Absolutely
It's like
amazing.
football is
Is it
like
all
arena
just-
football, but on ice.
Sounds horrible.
It's almost as great.
Are you
as
getting the ball into a hockey goal, or are you?
No, you got a basketball.
It's just
hoop, but
football
you're-
on ice, football on
Yeah,
basketball.
I saw a TikTok of
There's no
a
hockey at
like
it. It's just on ice.
I saw a TikTok of two dudes playing one-on-one for basketball. Yeah,
Yeah, and dude was getting crossed up left and
He
right.
was.
That's wild.
So
he was
Do
getting
you have to
literally
dribble?
put on
Do you have to
skates.
dribble?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God.
So think about it. You get crossed up on a court. You know, you stop. But you get
You
crossed
might
up on
still have time to get up.
Could you
and
imagine-
If
recover.
you cross one skate, someone might skate over your face, dude.
Could you imagine Dirk Nowitzki playing this with his fadeaway kick or whatever? How many
knees
How-
would get dismembered.
how many dudes would get neutered? Just taking one to the groin.
Dude, no, he gets his foot up there, dude. He'll slice
No, he
your
does.
throat, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean he's 7 foot.
If Draymond Green played that, you know how many
Oh,
dicks
Steven-
he's kicked, dude?
Steven Adams
That
wouldn't be able to play.
Straight up
How many
every time he
faces he
falls.
stepped on?
I mean, with Dirk's fucking high kick, he might even give you a nice shave.
Yeah.
Line you up a
But,
little.
I mean, just seeing that is like
oh,
really
man.
cool because we're like putting all the sports together. Granted, they'll probably never be as popular as it should be.
Never, yeah.
But as far as the entertainment aspect, you're thinking, man, this is
it's
actually
entertaining.
getting crossed up on ice. You slide 10
It's like
feet
ice ball.
up.
No,
Ice
yeah.
ball,
And in between, our local dive bar.
But are they on skates?
Yeah, a lot of those.
It's just entertaining to see.
No, a lot of those sports,
Dumb.
a lot of those crossover sports, yeah, you pretty much just, it's like you don't mind seeing them just once or whatever, like like ice ball. You don't mind seeing it once a year, but it's like
Yeah.
would I ever
Like, follow the
actually
sport?
or pay money to actually like go attend and watch or whatever? No.
Have you guys seen the hockey MMA?
Yeah.
Like the hockey
Is it just all these?
Yeah.
That's literally
Those
what
are
I'm
awesome.
thinking about. It's the hockey crossover.
They just put
to
every
the
sport
next
on.
level.
No, I was gonna
It's like-
say.
It's like Disney on ice.
Yeah, Disney
You
on
know?
ice. Shrek is terrible on ice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big
No
fan.
way.
Shrek, did you say Shrek on ice is terrible?
Shrek can't be
Shrek
bad
Shrek is
in
never.
any form.
Shrek is never terrible.
No,
The
in
play,
any form.
I will tell you this: the play, absolutely outstanding. One of the best plays I've ever seen.
Okay, he's a thespian.
I don't know what that means.
Won't take kindly to slurs, son.
Justin, what's on your mind, man?
I don't know much because I hate the NBA. So there would be more if I liked the NBA. But the Yankees offseason looks complete after we re-signed Tim Hill today to finish up the bullpen. I think it's the best bounce back we could have possibly had after losing out on Soto. We went hard. Obviously, I mean, we spent more money than we would have if we just signed Soto. So, maybe respect Brian Cashman a little bit more as he didn't, after losing out on Soto, he didn't just die and roll over. He's a Red Sox fan. They spent no money, so he's.
We've spent less money than the
Yeah, I
Athletics.
don't know why
Fun
the fuck
fact.
he's talking. So
I
this
never
sucks.
said we were. I know what suck looks like.
Good offseason, though, for the Yanks all around, I think, in my opinion. And I still think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series, but we're the best team by far to compete with them. I
As they
think, at the
should,
moment.
King.
Oh, great. So we're going to get another
Dodgers,
World
Yankees
Series
win
where
in
the
5.
Yankees just get mopped
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
again.
Oh, yeah. That's what's going to happen. Dodgers will win in 5.
Not as a huge baseball fan. Who
Well, at least
has
your team
the
is
most
winning.
championships between the Red Sox and the Yankees?
Closer.
You know who? You know who?
No, who has the most championships between?
I want to eat the
For
answer.
what?
For the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Red Sox? It's the Yankees.
Oh.
But they played back. I mean, they won most of them back.
You
before
played back
Jack.
then too. You just didn't
I
win.
said one more before
You
Jack.
played back then
Yeah,
too.
so every win back then was meaningless. We were just saving it for when it was relevant,
Right.
when TVs got better.
Is that
That's
what they
what
were
it was.
thinking? They said, "Hey, we're gonna get."
We still have probably more since they allowed.
As
black
if the city of Boston would have been the first to start
Probably
welcoming
one more.
black players back
more
then.
than that. We won more than that.
By far the last.
No, yeah.
They still don't know.
That's what's crazy.
The Dominicans don't count.
It's like, if only we could have been having black players play. You didn't want them.
When you were talking about we were talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series, I sent something earlier that Rob Manfred said, but he was just talking about how he was listening to the fans saying we need like a salary cap in baseball, but then he said he wasn't blaming the Dodgers or whatever for everything that's going on. Personally, I blame the Dodgers because not that if you have the money, spend it. You can't blame them for that. It's the deferred money bullshit that is pissing
So you feel like
me
they're
off.
taking advantage of a sort of loophole.
Yeah, and that's
I
what
mean-
he said everything they have done has been mostly aligned with our rules in the MLB.
Which is true. It's just
Yeah, it's
okay.
technically,
Then
yeah,
can
it is.
during the next CBA or whatever, can
as
we?
a Red Sox fan and as a Cubs fan, because I feel this way, so I feel like you guys should feel the same. I'm not that mad at the Dodgers.
No,
spending money now.
All of our owners could afford to do what they
Yeah,
do.
Yes,
I'm saying-
100%.
That's why I said I'm not mad at them for spending money. It's the deferred money thing that's driving me nuts.
All of our teams
No.
could do it. And
Well,
some
yes
of our
and
teams
no.
do it.
Yes-
Some of our
yes
teams-
and no, 'cause
And
To a certain extent.
It's more of an integrity of the game thing, though. Not
It-
that it's like, oh, my team's gonna lose no matter what. I mean, regardless if the Dodgers were doing this or not, we're not gonna be good.
But it's also let's remember this. All of our teams could do it from a salary cap perspective, yes. But let's be honest, like our teams they still have to pay that money eventually. And the reason the Dodgers can do it so loosely is because they do have the TV deals and the marketing over in Japan. Like they have.
You're a
they-
Cubs fan.
No,
Chicago's revenue will never die.
No, I know, I know. That's why I'm not saying like I'm saying the reason like could the Cubs do the deferred money thing? Absolutely, but I think it's like the manner of like there's a difference between doing it and doing it at the level the Dodgers are doing it.
I agree.
If that makes
it is
sense.
a little much, but I mean, at the end of the day, dude, what some people are saying, and I agree with, whatever it takes to win. Like they're playing.
I'm not
within
gonna
No,
the-
what the
they're
Dodgers are
playing within
doing.
the rules, and they've set themselves up to win the next 5 in a row.
What the Dodgers are doing does not let Tom Ricketts, the Cubs owner, off the hook for how conservative he is with his spending and everything. He even said recently, and I think this is probably something that could be on my mind or whatever. But Tom Ricketts said recently that like we're not trying to do what the Dodgers do. We're just trying to break even every year. It's like, dude, you can't be the owner of the Chicago Cubs and say that you're just trying to break even. Like, no, dude, you got to go above and beyond that because the teams you're going to be competing against are doing that as well. And you can't just keep crying
No.
broke when you're in the
Without,
third
like-
biggest market.
with how every year like money is just like becomes like I'm not saying worthless, but like I don't know. It's just money's almost inflating more and more so much every year that like
Like $20 is the
you
new
gotta-
dollar
that's what
bill.
I'm saying, like these owners got to get with the fact that like what they were spending 2 years ago isn't what teams are spending today. Like you got to up your money.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I look and see that Dansby Swanson is our biggest contract ever at like,
That's
it's at like 170 something million or something like that. It's like
I can see if
he's
it
not a top.
Yeah, no.
he's not a top 500
like
MLB player.
we
of all time.
should
Nobody
be
cares about the
like
Brewers.
And he's the highest paid Cub of all.
like
time.
I want to say still be smart
Very
about it, but
wrong.
like when
there's a lot of cheeseheads who
I'm
would
high.
disagree.
there have been
Cheese sniffers.
there have been a lot
Fart smelling.
of
That's
good
good
free
cheese.
agent classes in the last few off seasons, and like we should at least be consistently offering $200 million deals because that's the standard to get superstar players. Actually,
do you think about-
it's crazy because what was it like 5 years ago with Machado and Harper? Once they started doing $300 million deals, that felt like an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
Now it's like the
they threw Soto.
third
once.
best shortstop in a free agent class. We'll get that.
What do you? Oh fuck! I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, while you
Move
think
on.
about it, I did have a quick question. So you understand like how like back in the 80s and 90s, the difference in contracts in today's world? I was so confused as to why a lot of those older players were going bankrupt just with the money they were spending. Like I think Magic Johnson said his first contract was $500,000, and then back then that was like a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
I think it was that.
You don't think so?
No.
Was it like 175 or something?
Well, no, you're more so like we get the logic you're going for.
So ideally, it was just a lot less than it is now, and I was confused as to why they were going bankrupt. But then you look at the inflation over time, and you're like, wow. And guys not making 500,000. The minimum isn't 500,000 in any league right now. I can't.
Yeah,
even
hockey.
And it's not like they're making.
Yeah, well, hockey's
like
the outlier.
And
Hockey's
maybe
the
even
outlier.
Golf, but that's for a tournament if you come in last.
No, no, exactly. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
how do you think that's influenced the sport just from the old days, how it affected them to how it's going now? Do you really believe that $200 million or $75 million, whatever it may be, do you think that's actually a huge difference as it was back then?
Yeah. Well, I guess I might be misunderstanding like the overall question that you're trying to make, but
making $75 million now, although it may not be a lot for a player, do you think making $75 million is comparable to making $500,000 back in the 80s?
I feel like I probably don't know enough to like at least like say like what like the conversion is or whatever.
I don't
Like
know
what
what it is either.
what it's worth
Yeah,
nowadays.
so
What it would be.
I don't have enough information.
Making
but
how
The
much
rate
now?
of inflation since then, I don't think would be
We could even
comparable to five. Like you're saying that versus what like Supermax.
All right.
But then again, as far as you talking about like players going bankrupt and stuff, I feel like that was more so just like different like habits and like knowledge of like how to like really maximize your contracts and everything. Like if you watch the episode of Hot Wings with Shaq, he describes how he blew like his entire first paycheck of his NBA contract in one day. Just off of like going to like the store and getting, he got like plasma TVs. He got
3 cars.
He got 3 cars.
Yeah.
He got Rolexes and everything. Blew it in basically one day.
And then my father told
Scott-
me that I
Scotty-
can't do anything like that anymore.
Scottie Pippen.
Actually, his dad
If
contributed
I'm gonna
to
be
it.
an NBA player, and I'm going to be a great
He went back home.
behind TVs and cars.
He bought that car and he went back, and his dad was like, "Oh, you didn't give me one," so he went back. To
Yeah,
it
no,
and
exactly,
bought another
exactly.
car for his dad.
So I think a better.
And then he was
question-
like, "Oh, I need to get another one for my mom or whoever."
Yeah.
So he bought a third one.
So I think a better question would be the league minimum back in 1980. How much different do you think the league minimum today is?
Significantly.
Yeah.
No, not so much price wise, but how it's affecting the
No,
players.
significantly.
Okay.
Like, okay.
Significantly, because like even 10 years ago or so, like around 10 years ago, late 2000s, early 2010s, the NFL minimum was right around like it was like 750. Now it's like fucking like 2 million or a million or something like that. In only a 10-year span is insane, especially when you look at someone whose career is only going an average of what, like 2.4 years.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it was lower in the NFL. It was like 400,000. Especially
Yeah.
practice squad players, they only made like 70,000.
But even then, that's so when they're in
Now their
season,
minimum's just like
it's,
400.
Like what, 7-8 grand a week. So it's
Wait, you're talking about practice squads?
Yeah,
still?
practice squad players.
Yeah,
They
you
get
only
7-8
you
grand
only
a
got
week.
16 checks.
So you get the 16 checks. I'm not too mad at that. There's a lot of people that don't make 50,000 in a year. But you're telling me I can
don't.
run around and catch a ball.
don't.
So granted, it's tax, but you do get that nice little check. I mean, I don't think I'm too mad at playing football 16 weeks out of the year. And
And the rest of the year, you can fucking hit the bricks or do whatever.
If you're a minimalist, but these guys are
The grind to
superstars,
stay on
they're-
practice squads.
They're with the superstars, so you want to live up to that. So you know they got that painting job that offers 20 hours of overtime. So they're putting in that 60 hours a week, March through July or whatever it may be.
When you're on the practice squad for a team, do you get housing and stuff paid for?
I think it's contingent upon team.
Yeah.
It's contingent upon team, but I'm pretty sure with the new
For the
NFL
most
PA
part.
You get
agreements, you
vouchers.
have to.
And-
You have to get some type of stipend specifically for
So I mean
housing.
that adds up too for sure.
And MLB, they just a couple years ago finally started doing for minor league players. They provide housing for them as well. Because before, dudes were like
The MLB,
dudes were actually really struggling.
MLB put that in
They would
mandate.
stay with families in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
They wouldn't
is
even have their own
huge.
players.
That's insane that
families.
they're not offering
if your family
that.
can't
Because
do that,
because I get that like I get you're not making much money, you're not worth much money because you're a minor league player and everything, but at the same time you're still providing a very drastic service for that team. Like you got to fill
Especially
up.
MLB, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing that 7 months out of the year.
Yeah, so no, I think that actually like it's like good on them for finally doing that, but But I think another thing to add to answer your question, like as far as how it affects the sport today, I think it affects it for the worse because how often do we talk about like the mentality of NBA players and how it doesn't really feel like they're playing for the love of nobody actually loves. I won't say nobody, but a majority don't actually love the sport. They're just there because they know they can make.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, no, it
Feels like it.
I hate Joel
with him,
Embiid
for sure.
Yeah.
so much.
and it's crazy because then, like, what was it, a year or two ago, they were talking about how because I think it was the whole with if you're injured like the entire season or whatever, you're not going to be up for MVP votes or whatever.
At the end of the
yeah,
year.
yeah, exactly. And they're like, all right, then you need to shorten the season because guys just can't handle or whatever. It's like, okay, if you're going to shorten the season, then we're going to shorten your salaries because all of a sudden you're not worth the money you're making if you're not playing 82 games.
I mean, that reminds me of Zion because I think in the last 3 or 4 years, he's played less than 47% of his games.
Yeah.
And you could probably
Zion's
look it up.
bad.
I think it's
No, it's close.
190
It's close to
199
that.
to 167 that he's actually
Yeah,
paid.
that's-
And it's like, dude, you're getting paid, I think it's 33
I will say,
or 36 million.
one thing I will
a
point
year.
out, this season, the Pelicans aren't letting him play in back-to-back. So that stat is fucking him over because the Pelicans have forced him to sit out of at
what-
least 15
That's
What
games.
is this, his fourth season?
I think
But that's
like
the
that.
front half of this season. That doesn't include the last.
No,
two
you're right.
seasons
No,
of
that's what I'm saying. You're
180
right.
plus
Still an
That's just
incredibly
like
injury-prone
Embiid.
player. Still
Embiid
incredibly
has a similar stat where he's only played in a little bit more games than he's
Yeah, that's okay.
sat
that's,
out of.
That's what I was just.
Yeah, it's like pretty much half and half.
Joel Embiid has played 446 career games. He has 400 games missed.
But to go off of
Granted,
that,
in his defense, that was I feel like that's mainly from when he
Soft.
first came in. No,
true.
still like he missed what, like at least the first 2 seasons of his quote unquote career or whatever.
The first whole season.
Yeah, but
I was
but
gonna
no,
go
still,
off- to go
But
off
still,
that
with
even
how much
more.
money you're investing in someone,
yeah.
Joel
You
Embiid
know.
was the 47% stat.
Talking about look what I've done for this city, next to nothing.
But to go off of that, like even the new players not wanting to play as much. After Klay Thompson, I believe, tore his Achilles, or was it his ACL? He tore his Achilles, but he's
Achilles, I
played
think.
more games.
He's sort of something second year too.
Yeah, I believe it was his Achilles in a pickup game. But he's played more games than Zion has since he's been back. And Zion hasn't been injured.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had some issues on and off the court, missing like flights and whatnot. He did that one windmill dunk, and it's like, oh, he's back. But people are getting tired of the shenanigans and like, oh, you're gonna wow us with your athletic talent, but then we don't see you for another 30 days. It's just something that you're really starting to see a trend with these younger guys.
He's like the like this is gonna be a bit of a stretch, and honestly, it's something I've actually kind of been wanting to bring up, but we don't have to dwell too much on it right now. But Zion has to be the best. I'm gonna say it, bust of all time. As far as the as far as the hype coming in and everything, because I'm not gonna say he's
Anthony
necessarily.
Bennett.
Well,
Ben Simmons.
Evan's trying to say
No.
still like
still, like,
player you'd want on your team. Like
yeah, like because
good
look at his
player,
he's averaging like 25 points a game for his career, so he's obviously good. But as far as like what we
Being
thought we were getting
available.
out of, what we were thought was gonna happen with him being in the league and everything, and like the hype coming around him, and like, I mean, but at the same time, like I feel like that was all just so built up on the flashy
He's
dunks.
good.
No, he is good, and like he is a skilled NBA
Actually,
player.
Something off that. Do you think he's averaging like 25, 7, and 5. He is a good.
Yes, no,
stat.
he's a
Do you
great player.
think-
he puts up numbers. When
Do
he
you
plays.
think if he plays only half the season for the next 2 years, do you still think he gets a supermax deal? Because he has the stats to back it up.
You have to be.
That's-
to be a supermax. You have to be all NBA, and if you don't play enough games, you can't be all NBA.
That is a good point.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Fine. But his max deal. Do you
even
still think
hypothetically
he
or
gets
whatever.
his, not the super max, I guess, but do you still think he gets the most amount of money he possibly can because he's putting out a good stat line in half the season?
He's
Honestly,
looking-
it feels like there's a team that
That's what I'm
will
thinking.
pay.
Yeah.
That I think
Yeah.
I think he could make a 10, 15 year career only playing half the games
Yeah.
and still signing the
I mean-
next contract almost every time.
if he can actually like maintain like playing that amount of games and still playing at a high level. If
And if you
if
know
if
you get him in the playoffs.
yeah
him in the playoffs too.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But that's their thing with Embiid right now is they sit him out all these games because they just want him healthy for the playoffs.
And then
Yeah.
I don't remember what player said it, but and they especially talk about it in the NFL, and it's like if you don't play these back-to-backs, if you don't play these long stretches of game, that leads to you getting hurt more because your body is not built to go through that stress because you're always sitting out. So sitting out has negative effects.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because there's a Bulls Twitter page that I follow, and I don't know where they got the inspiration for this because I thought it was stupid. But with like the deadline going on and everything, they were like, "Oh, do you think the Bulls should try to trade for Zion Williamson?" I'm like, first off, you're trying to tear it down or whatever, and like you're not in a position to. I mean, yeah, he's young and everything. Like you want to add young talent, but at what point do you think it's okay for the Bulls to add a guy who's going to be expensive and isn't going to be on the court half the time anyway? Like it just made me so mad.
Around.
Yeah,
So hard to build around a guy that you're only getting half the time.
yeah.
I mean, the tough part is that, like you said, he's got 25, 7 and 8 or whatever it is. He's got these
Something
great
like that.
stats, but if you're missing half the season, think about the correlation between the points. So he's got all these for the first 40, but then you're missing out on that 25, 7 and 8 for those last 40 games, and you're not getting that production.
It's not like the first 40 though. Like he's playing
Yeah, he's like-
the way it works.
Basically
is,
every
like,
other.
Yeah,
They're
bits and
holding and like,
spurts and-
but like it's smart. Like dude, like he's playing. Out of the 40 games he's playing, 30 of those are probably the 30 most important games they'll play that.
Which honestly, I think that would be fine if they had a better all around team, honestly. But they made the playoffs once in his career,
I think
or
so.
at least
Well,
like
he
the
needs a
play.
new team. He needs a fresh start for sure. I can.
But
that
Yeah,
would be-
maybe a new training staff or something. I don't know.
Do you think a fresh start is actually
And New
going to
Orleans
change his
food is
habits?
good.
Probably not.
Well,
Because he's still
no.
got that other
Probably not.
$36 million coming to
He's
his bank
fat.
account.
I mean, he is fat as fuck, and New Orleans isn't the place for a fat guy.
When he came into the league, they're like, dude, Zion eating gumbo and jambalaya all the time. He's gonna turn into Booger
Those
McFarland.
seafood boils
Well,
add
where's,
up, dude.
where's the
Oh,
place for
dude.
a fat guy to help him lose weight? Because I can't think of
Utah.
one.
LA.
Honestly, yeah.
Right.
Utah.
You might be well,
You can't even drink there too, so there's no carbs from the beer. I mean, you can, but like,
But he's traveling half the year.
yeah, he goes hard.
That-
It's like James
that-
Harden though. He every time he's
That
at
or, like-
every strip club in every city.
That or like the Spurs or just any organization that's known for being like
I mean,
that's having a higher level of discipline.
I think
Miami.
if you want to really keep him in line,
Pat Riley will be on that ass. And
if you
Spoelstra.
really want to keep him in line, 80% of his contract would have to be based off incentives. But even then, that wouldn't matter because he makes so much fucking money.
Something with the NBA, dude. Their seventh,
And-
eighth men are making.
Dude,
And
they're
that's-
the
and-
most mids guy in the league are making more than the best players in some other league.
And I bet
the
you
best wide receiver in the NFL would be like the 100.
and I bet you
Saquon makes like 9 million, 10 million a year or something like that. A million a year.
Yeah, that's what motherfuckers want to say. That's bullshit, dude.
That was
I
like the
was-
narrative
I-
coming into this season.
I like to shit on running
I mean,
back value.
the
He likes
Bears
running
were
back.
actually kind of proving that for a stretch of years
They
back
were,
then.
dude.
When
It
we
felt
went
like
from
any motherfucker they plugged in.
we went from Jeremy Langford to Jordan Howard to blanking on who, or I think Dave Montgomery actually was next after that, who was actually good.
Well,
But
Bears are a poor excuse for any foundation to require like a running back to have a career. Because
what do you mean? We've had great running backs for
Yeah,
like that's what we're known for.
Two in the last 30 years. Actually,
Okay.
I can name 3 running backs off the top. Matt Forte, which I wouldn't say was a great running back for the Bears, but he was great for the Bears. But
Wouldn't say he was a
okay,
great
okay,
running
okay,
back.
okay,
You
okay,
kidding me?
I would say-
Do not bring that Forte into
Wait.
this.
I said
Fantastic.
he
Hate the
wasn't a
Bears,
great
but
running
Forte,
back.
I
He
give
wasn't a
Forte
great
a lot.
running back, but he was great for the Bears. Then you got Cedric Benson, and
Thomas
then-
Jones had multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons.
Okay.
And was. Wait, I'm trying to remember.
No, okay. I do
Okay,
see
anyway,
way
can-
more fans coming from with that because
It's like it's so wishy-washy and the
1,000-yard
production-
rushing seasons come with a bad QB sometimes.
Yes, and that's like
Well, I mean, yeah, but you still gotta run
Howard,
them.
I think at 1,000 yards. So when I say great running backs, I'm not talking about Dime a dozen.
Well, I'm thinking of guys who maybe didn't stay there long, but they were still
consistent
good.
over 4 to 5 years, where their production value is like they're there. You don't have. I think out of those running backs, I don't think you have a 5-year running back that was consistent in his production.
Matt Forte had 5,000 yard seasons. 2 of those came while he was averaging 3.9 yards per carry.
No, okay. Thomas Jones had. Okay. He
No, proves you. I mean, 3.9 yards per carry.
That's not.
That's just getting the ball. That's getting forced.
Getting a lot of carries.
and then look at his receiving. And then look at his receiving impact too. But Thomas Jones, he just missed 1,000 yards his first season with the Bears. Then
I would
then he went 1,300, 1,200. Then he went to the Jets and had 1,100, 1,300,
We're
1,400.
talking about at the Bears. Like, I'm saying that they're not producing a guy over that time where he's just a fucking dog. So they don't have any foundation.
Oh, you know what?
I mean, I still feel like that's incorrect. I mean, Jordan Howard was good with the Bears and had
a
one
lot of
good
issues.
He had one
issues,
yes.
health
And that's
issues.
why I said providing a foundation
Barber.
so that he excels over time. And I just don't think the Bears
Okay,
foundation.
maybe it's not so much running backs being a
Tiki's the running back.
well, wait for these. Oh, it's not so much the running backs are necessarily a dime a dozen, I guess. But I guess as far as the margin of being truly great and being just a good running back year to year or whatever, if you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I feel like the margin between those two is huge.
I think so the 1,000-yard mark kind of became the thing, like the requirement to be a solid back in the NFL, because people started getting closer and closer to that 2,000-yard mark more consistently. And that's what I'm saying, the difference between them and like a good program. I want to say the Steelers have always had a consistent running game because they've always had a consistent line. Or you look at the Cowboys, who've always had a consistent running game because they've had a consistent
Eagles.
line. The Eagles have also had that same thing. I said that it's poor for the Bears to have that same. It's poor for them to even mention that foundation of them having like a solid running.
So you're saying there's a lot of other franchises
Yeah.
that
Well,
could claim
then again,
that
I think
a lot
it's
doing it.
more.
So it's like it's not so
Okay.
much against the back as much as it is against the franchise.
Well, yeah, no, I think it goes more so. It shows more about kind of the style of football the Bears play. Like it's always been run 3 downs in a row and
Which
then go
comes
play
with
action
the
or something.
territory of where they are.
Yeah, exactly. But now, hopefully, with Caleb and Ben Johnson and DJ and Rome, hopefully that's about to change. But
Can
obviously,
we get a moment of silence for Virginia McCaskey?
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna do that. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Right.
right.
I'm gonna ruin this moment of silence because she has ruined the Bears organization and she doesn't deserve it.
Yeah, you know
I think it's more so her sons. I think it's more so her sons, but I get your point.
I mean, that's
last
it
40
doesn't-
years.
I know it's her sons, but
that
her
bitch.
being there is an influence for sure. Like, I mean, I don't know. If I was a player and I'm like, damn, dude, my owner is just a sack of potatoes laying in a bed, I'd be like, this organization's a dumpster fire.
Owner, but her son was George's like the chairman or whatever. He's like obviously the one running the show, but that's still
we
not.
need
That's
more to go.
no. Actually, I think that's worse because he doesn't know a single thing about football.
It's all bad there. They just need to sell the team.
They do 100%. They do.
Need to change
Going to Arlington
location.
Heights,
Do I know
isn't
it's
it?
so
Wasn't it
sad?
supposed to?
Not
That's getting
anymore.
shut down.
Not anymore.
No, it's still there's
not
still
anymore.
there's still a legit chance they
Go to
end up in
Schaumburg.
Arlington.
There's still a chance.
They'd be stupid not to. You already own the land. You can make it into your entire Bears kingdom or whatever. Like you can do the Bucks Deer District on steroids.
That would be
And
sweet in
you can host
Chicago.
Final Fours, you can host concerts and all this other stuff and make so
Super
much
Bowl.
money and then start to bring in better talent and everything too. But for some reason Kevin Warren's just like, nah, dude, that skyline view and that lake view, it's so cool, man. You gotta keep it in downtown. It's like, dude, have you ever tried to park at Soldier Field in December? It sucks, dude. Worst experience of my life.
Yeah, that's what I love. That's like I think Lambeau is the most overrated field of all time, but the parking was so easy when I went there.
No.
It was amazing.
I think that's another thing. Like as far
That's
as
the only
like
thing happening in the city, so they
Like,
can
even-
dedicate everything.
even Cubs Brewers. Like I love going to Wrigley like itself, But as far as like, but as far as like
I remember
before
having to park.
at a freaking Taco Bell, dude.
I have something to say. Bucks fans especially. I'm a Bucks fan.
Let's hear it.
I am a Bucks fan, not a diehard. I'm a Bucks fan. There's no such thing in sports as loyalty. There hasn't been in 25 years.
Bullshit.
Bucks fans need to get over the fact that Chris Middleton just got traded. And I'm not saying the people in here. I'm saying on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter guy. People all over Twitter are saying the Bucks aren't loyal. The Bucks didn't treat Chris Middleton right. All of this. Chris Middleton should have been shipped off 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
And it was looking like that, but I think the fact that they, kind of still gave him this 2 years. I mean,
they did because they even there's no such thing as loyalty anymore, and they showed a little bit of loyalty still.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it doesn't like he should have been gone a while.
It doesn't feel good that he's gone for sure.
He was an important part of the championship teams. And I tweeted this exact thing out. I don't know if you're gonna agree, Seth. When Chris Middleton was at his peak, there was 85 other guys in the NBA who could have replaced him.
I don't know about 85.
85.
Yeah.
Name all of them.
85.
I couldn't sit here and tell you 85 players that.
And that could have done just as good or better. 80 at minimum 85. I could see 100.
I'd agree with that, honestly. And then you can start from the best players and work your way down.
That's what I'm saying.
agree
Yeah,
with 85.
starting from the best players and working your way down. Minimum 85.
I'd go with 85 actually.
I'd say over 100 players. I would.
I'll say this. Oh,
No, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that the one things that fans get confused is that when they think about loyalty, they think about when they played in high school.
Yeah.
Or they think about when they played
It's so flawed for
and
what
they're-
professional sports actually
and they played
is.
in college because it's a business now.
It is.
It's about what's my return on investment, and
Yeah.
can you continue to
Players
do that for
aren't
me?
making the best player in the league isn't making $150,000 anymore. The best player in the league is making millions and hundreds of millions.
$150 million.
They're making hundreds of millions of dollars. It matters every game they play. It matters. If they're playing bad, they need to move along. That's how it should work.
But as far as the 85 players comment, I think at best you could say hypothetically there's 85, and I know that's kind of what you're saying.
oh.
No, let me finish.
No
Let me finish.
hypotheticals. No hypotheticals.
But I
You got
think
the- you got the
if
top
you're gonna
two-
make,
top
I think
two-
I do agree with Evan.
Top two players on every team except maybe the Wizards. So that gets us to 62. And then at least half of the team's third options.
But no, here's the point.
And then you got teams like the Warriors.
But no,
super team,
here's the point that I'm trying to make. Like take a player for example like Jimmy Butler. Could he obviously do what Chris Middleton was doing and better? Yes, absolutely. But would he want to play second fiddle to Giannis?
He was third fiddle.
And
he wasn't. He wasn't even that important. He was a third fiddle.
No,
the Bucks fans acted like they lost their star player.
But that even furthers my point though. Would he?
He was the second option for a long time.
It was
Drew Holiday.
I think honestly, even when Drew, even when
they won the championship.
I mean, yeah, Chris Middleton.
no,
went
even
off.
when
He was a big part of
Drew
the
got
playoff
there,
run. I
as far
agree.
as being like,
And obviously he matters to the franchise, and that's why I hate this whole argument because it almost is making me seem like I hate Chris Middleton. But my main
Which is
reasoning
fine, it's
is more
fine.
so he was never as good as people think he was, and he should have been traded over a year ago.
So you're saying he was as good as the system made him?
Yeah, he played alongside Giannis and Drew Holiday.
I mean,
he was good.
There's a lot of players like that.
And Brook Lopez when he could stretch the floor very well. Like,
Would you even say that Drew Holiday is replaceable?
oh no.
oh yeah, Drew Holiday was obviously very
Obviously
good. But
not.
Yeah, I
No,
believe
the
he's
defensive value is way too
he was
high.
so good at
They
defense.
upgraded.
Chris Middleton, what I will say is, yeah, like obviously you put Steph on the team, he's better. Like obviously he is replaceable, but he's way less replaceable than Chris Middleton.
You talking about Drew still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have replaced
No,
Drew Holiday
100%.
with maybe 10 points.
I think I'll,
You couldn't do that. You could replace
about
Chris
that?
Middleton with a
No,
lot of people.
I think if this
point guard in the league.
if
Oh,
this
yeah,
trade
at the time, yeah.
if this trade would have
I said
happened
maybe 10.
if this trade would have happened a year and a half ago instead of the Drew
Alvarado.
trade, I don't think you would see nearly the outrage that you're seeing now from Bucks fans because Drew was like at this point Drew is clearly the better player and I think it goes to show that he's
Holiday
not.
trade made sense when Dame Lillard's there.
I mean,
But no,
Dame-
but
At the
look
time
what
with
happened.
Drew,
They got
yeah,
the
we
Bucks
needed
got
more
worse,
offense.
and then Drew went off and won a championship with the Celtics.
I agree.
Granted, you have Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown,
I don't
but
think
I
the
mean,
Bucks
still,
I don't think the Bucks just
Okay.
got worse though because like I think it was just like there was other things they also got worse at.
When you-
Not
when
the
you-
fact that they brought in
They also should have never changed coaches.
Yep.
Yes.
I agree.
One.
That's 1 million
Doc Rivers.
no, they shouldn't have. They shouldn't.
Doc Rivers is probably my most hated coach, and that's not
Dude,
like,
it sucks. As soon as they
so
signed
bad.
him, I was like,
I knew we were
That's
never
probably
winning.
his best
I
basketball
knew
take
we
ever.
were never winning a championship.
the
I knew
team
it.
killer.
Yes.
Look,
I knew that
think
this
about
team
it.
was. That
He
I knew that we
ruined
were going to have a
Lob
rebuild
City.
before a championship.
he ruined Lob City with Chris
The
Paul.
fact he didn't win a
Dude.
championship with that team.
The fact he didn't win a playoff
He
series.
should have never gotten a head coaching job again.
And
Granted,
wasn't
they
it
were on their
because-
way to winning one before Blake got hurt.
those Celtics teams carried. His
What about it?
career.
Wait, why did they bring in Doc Rivers? What was the reason? Is
Because they had
Adrian- 'cause
Adrian,
Giannis didn't like Adrian Griffin.
and there was like
because
clashes
he
within
said
the locker
Thanos
room.
was a beyond Thanos.
Because Adrian Griffin was like, "Get this Thanasis guy out of my fucking locker
Because he
room."
wasn't a role
And dude-
player at all. He was a G League player at best, and then somebody.
Taking
He's
up a
not.
roster
He's
spot.
not even.
So you
He's
should
not
be
even a
mad
G
at
League
Giannis.
He was
player.
signed by a G League team.
You
Yeah.
should be mad at Giannis for ruining your hopes and dreams as a Bucks player because people got their feelings in it. This isn't Greece,
You know what?
buddy.
Honestly,
That's a crazy thing, though. He did.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
never say a bad thing about
No,
Giannis.
no, not at all.
I can't.
And that's why, like you, like you actually can't even.
nuggets. 50 chicken nuggets.
Other than Russell Westbrook,
Not
I think-
That's my
51,
favorite player
not
of all time.
49.
Any
Chicken
other
nuggets.
player, you'd probably be thinking like, wow, this is gonna put a
I
huge.
feel like with Giannis though, maybe there was something going on with him.
No, probably.
If
and
Giannis is upset, then
and like looking at
I
it
don't
from,
even know that he was. What?
It was literally because Thanos got removed from. He said that he wasn't a good player.
it couldn't have
Okay.
been. It couldn't have been just
That's-
that.
I don't know if that's
Maybe.
true or not, but
I think that's just pure
18.
speculation, but I mean that's what we're here to do. We're not here to.
That's what I
We're not here to
You're
provide
giving
facts.
Adam
you want
Schefter
facts?
told
Freaking
me-
boring.
all I heard was that players didn't like his just
Adrian Griffin?
like
Yeah, there was no.
style
There
and
was
his
multiple.
rotations and
There was
stuff,
multiple
but not
good.
like
There was multiple good resources saying there was locker room class.
Wait, but didn't they have a winning record before he left?
Oh,
They were
man,
like
had a
first
very
in
good
the
record.
East.
They were like
they
first
were
in the
30
East.
and 13. I just
Well, they
saw
were.
it today.
You know what it was? They were tired of working for that money that they had in their fucking bank account.
probably.
That
But-
might have been it.
But the crazy thing is that if
That is
you,
a joke.
it's one thing to fire a coach like that. It's another to hire the guy that they did to replace him. They would have been probably much better off just having one of the assistants be the
One of us.
and then the fact you brought him back again or like to stay like they would have just been better off having one of the assistants be an interim coach and then doing a coaching search in the offseason.
I don't know. I guess also, is there anybody who's really came out and spoken against Doc?
I mean, no, because I think he's a player's coach
I don't
in
think DeAndre
general.
Jordan's a fan.
Well, you know,
No, yeah.
as a part of this team,
Who-
and if we're gonna keep playing basketball, I think I get the guys I need. Like, why do you sound like that, dude? You're only 49 or whatever.
Dude, no,
What?
he completely lost his voice at one point this
Who,
season.
who was it that wasn't there someone that started dating like Doc Rivers' daughter
That's what
or,
I'm saying.
or something while they were playing with him?
Griffin did.
I don't think it was Blake. I think it was more of a role player.
Blake Griffin, the best tight end.
Were you thinking of Austin Rivers? His son played for him.
No, I know that was a thing too, but no,
Austin Rivers dated his sister.
Yeah.
Let's start that rumor.
dude.
Oh, wasn't it
Somebody's listening to this podcast.
dude who played for the Warriors?
I gotta look it up.
That's what I'm doing.
All right, I'll let you do
All
it
right,
then.
I'll ask this, Seth. Do you think that, honestly, personally, I think the only non-replaceable player on the
Seth
Bucks right
Curry,
now,
and they're married.
Yeah, I knew it.
They're married.
I knew it was something. Yep. Anyway, continue.
the only non-replaceable player on the Bucks right now is Giannis. Outside of that, everybody is disposable.
I don't think
just-
Dame's
No,
necessarily.
Dame-
No, Dame's not.
Sorry,
yeah.
Dame, sorry, that's my fault.
All right.
No, okay. What I will say though is Dame's obviously not just like Dame is a
I mean,
trade
unless-
candidate right now.
Dame
Okay.
is hot.
Dame this offseason, if the Bucks have a first round exit, this is sad to say, the Bucks blowing it up this offseason if they have a first round exit isn't a bad idea. It's
No,
really
ma-
Well,
and I
outside
think,
of Giannis?
and
outside of Giannis.
honestly,
Okay, outside of
but it's
Giannis.
but it's mainly because
that,
age related with
Giannis
most of
is
the
guy for
team.
the next 10 years.
They're-
Giannis is the guy for the next 10 years.
They're getting older very quickly.
No, so is Thanos.
Thanos.
Hate us because they Thanos.
You got Jupiter and then Thanos.
Yeah, well, you
Oh
were
yeah,
on
it
the
fell
whiteboard,
down.
bro.
Yeah, in case you haven't
Almost
noticed,
killed me.
before there was a whiteboard and it is no
We knew
more
it
because
was
it
gonna
fell
fall.
down.
We
The
knew it.
freaking wind knocked it down. Dude.
Yeah, we have a window open and
Because it's hot as hell.
That brand of sticky putty is getting a 1-star review.
Ethan completely misled us.
yeah, Ethan did
But
mislead
the
us.
supplies he was bringing
He
is
thought-
so-
he
That
was
was
bringing-
your eyes.
He was bringing
Send me the
putty in
picture.
elementary school,
Send
like
him the
puts it on the wall.
send him the
He
picture.
sent us a picture, and it looked like he had the biggest pieces of putty ever.
Dude, a palm.
They got here.
I had
They
had a
were
roll of
1
tape
centimeter
with
by
it.
1 centimeter.
I had a
squares.
roll of tape with it for.
No.
It was bad.
He
Duct
misled
tape.
us.
This
You
dude,
misled us.
this dude definitely knows how to be abstract or whatever the word is
He
for
knows
like
his
angles and stuff. Yeah.
That's what he knows.
You guys are ridiculous. I can't even believe you. By the way, Luka,
Oh yeah. No, that's
my beard hair.
Oh, yeah, Luka, that is
the
the
worst trade in NBA history.
Is that?
And I was watching
Probably.
some interview with
might be.
hey, who's the fat white dude who does NBA
Brian
reporting?
Windhorst.
Windhorst. Shout out Windhorst.
Oh my gosh.
Great guy.
Wind
He was-
God.
he-
Amazing. The best. NBA
He was
reporter.
asked.
I love that picture of him where he's like,
Yeah.
but he got asked like, what do you compare this to? Like, what is this? And he's like,
This is completely different than anything that's happened in the history of
Thank
any
you,
single sport.
Windhorst, because the
It
day
can't be
that this
compared.
shit happened, I was watching like Ramona Shelburne and fucking
Amy Schumer of the sports world.
all these other
hate Amy
ESPN fucking shills. Just want to dance around the fact that it was such a lopsided trade.
Yeah.
They just kept wanting to speak on like, oh, you know, Luka Doncic, there's so many problems about him.
number
He's
one
so
thing is-
unconditioned.
the number one thing is, yeah,
He's not gonna be anything for us,
Dude, the cheap
even though we
ball.
just went to the fucking championship last season.
yeah. People are always like,
believe this guy.
people are like, he's fat.
to do what he's supposed.
That's literally the only argument or only
It's Luka Magic.
only defense anybody can make for the Lakers. I mean, for any justification for the Mavericks GM, who should be fired into the sun.
Is that
Right
Dallas
now.
Is-
wants to lose their organization?
Well, is that they're like, oh well, Luka's fat. It's like, I don't give a shit.
Jokic.
He's still giving you 30.
8 and 8. All 270 pounds of him got you to the championship.
Where's the problem?
No,
Either-
seriously.
He's either a third of the team's points or a fourth of the team's points. Either way, those are good percentages. I want you on my team.
Yes.
For that production.
Did you guys see that
And-
video where they said where it all went downhill when, like, right after they made it to the finals, you know, you drinking in the locker room and shit?
Oh, and dude,
And the GM came and yoinked the beer out of his hand, and Luka's just like, he reaches for it again, and he's just like, that's ruined everything. Never take a beer out of a man's hand like that.
No, and I'm
Especially not a celebratory one.
But Luka could have been fucking smoking crack.
And I would have been like, yeah, dude. Yes, sir. You
That's
do
what
you,
they were.
brother.
That's what they were doing. And he's 25. Remember watching?
20.
Remember watching the Last Dance and
25.
watching the Last Dance and Michael Jordan's like.
Even worse.
Michael Jordan's like, yeah, if you would have walked in the locker room at halftime, you would have seen dudes drinking beer and smoking cigarettes and playing cards.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hey.
it's crazy.
As long as
Like,
they go out there and get it done.
Dude, that's the thing. They would.
I don't care what you do as long as you're getting me W's. Because all that money that comes in after that, shit.
Look at the NFL. dude.
Seriously.
You can beat the shit out of your wife, and you're still
And
playing
have
the
it
next
caught
game,
on
dude.
camera.
Kareem Hunt's
Okay.
about to get a
Play the
Super Bowl
next
ring
game.
after it.
There's some
The Ray,
uppercuts.
okay.
for real, hold on.
The Ravens
Did the
are
Ray
vicious.
Rice video change any of your guys' lives?
Define. What do you
I
mean by
think
change
that
life?
happened at such a young age for me. That video is embedded in my brain.
Oh yeah.
I will always remember.
I was like, I don't know when, like 11 years old, and I just remember seeing that video, and I was like, people do that?
It was.
Yeah, I get what you
I
mean.
will say
Actually,
this, it changed my fantasy team, and that's unfortunate. Like, we don't support domestic abuse here. All right.
But we support fantasy football.
I definitely.
Roger Goodell in the NFL.
Shout out to our sponsors.
Our sponsors, Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Joe Mixon thing, dude. Remember when I just knocked that chick out
Oh yeah.
on video? That was crazy.
How?
And allegedly, didn't she?
She did use a slur allegedly, so justified.
Yeah. Whoever.
Was it a white
Whoever.
girl? Was it a white girl?
Yeah.
Whoever his
Justified.
lawyer and like
Justified.
publicist is, though, or whatever,
Publicist.
publicist.
Let's sound it out.
It's publicicist.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Iridocyclitis.
Publicatointus.
Put it back up.
All right. Well, while Justin's trying to put it back up, which should be entertaining.
Fuck!
Oh my!
No!
Come on, bro.
Boston City champions.
No.
I'm missing
Oh,
two
it's that
titles
one?
on that.
Yeah, who gives a
I'm missing 2 titles on that thing.
Shout out to another one of
If
our
you're
sponsors,
if you're
Hobby
watching this and
Lobby.
happen to be an interior decorator, please help us out.
Nah, we like the disorganization.
Oh
We
yeah,
need more command strips.
Command,
we need more commands.
command strips, sponsor
This
us.
is plaster, not drywall.
Not drywall, so we can't fucking screw anything in.
I got a drill.
We could.
I could have brought
I
that.
got a drill too.
Yeah. No, your drill sucks.
Dude, we have a drill.
We tried using your
Wait,
drill.
grab the drill. Hey, should we do the drill test? All right. What do you do
Thing's got 3 RPMs.
as a member of What's on Your Mind? Show me what you do with the drill.
Oh, those
On
things.
this episode of Extreme Home Makeover,
Yep.
As a member of What's on Your Mind, what do you do with the drill?
Oh, I get it. Here, let me see it.
Grab the drill. What do you do with it?
drill it.
That's not what you do. That's not how it goes.
see it.
That's not how it
you
goes.
coerced
All
him
you just
into it.
yeah. All you do is just say pick up the drill and you see if they do it.
No.
Oh my!
It's like the put away the bread, pick up the drill, pick up the tape measure.
Oh
seen
yeah,
that
no, I've seen that before.
It's
See
like-
that song? Or he's like all up in his neck, fucking spewing out.
Dude,
Animation.
I used to watch so
Hey,
much
Jamie,
Saw.
can you pull that up for us?
JMO.
I don't know
There's
how
no
I don't know how old I was when the first Saw came out, but I was old enough to where young enough
Stop.
to where I didn't sleep for like 6 days. Those Saw movies.
Dude,
They used to force us to watch.
Yeah, we used to watch them with our dad.
I didn't see
Dad
Saw
of the
till
year.
later,
Good man right there.
Dude.
But
I was like 8 years old. Like,
number one scary movie I remember fucking me up was Signs.
Dude, thank you. My dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucked me up.
Yes.
I didn't watch it.
I still have night.
Signs with
Mel Gibson. Joaquin
and
Phoenix.
Joaquin, yeah.
Good job.
You know, all
Dude,
the corners, too.
And honestly, if you watched it tonight, you're not gonna be scared at all.
Yeah.
But no,
Especially because of
it-
how old it is, and now everything's jump scares and shit.
I mean, it's definitely like got a lot of tension and suspense while you're watching it, but it's not really like jump scare you.
Yeah.
admiring your work.
A demon
No.
popping out of somebody's chest or something.
Signed Michael Pittman poster, by the way. Signed by.
Oh, yeah.
Signed Chad Johnson poster.
No, I could start a whole I could start a whole episode
Yeah.
just talking about Signs, but no, dude, what was I even talking about when you started on that whole excursion?
Let's talk about.
What?
No,
Publicist.
publicist. No, I was gonna say whoever Joe Mixon's lawyer and publicist is,
The PR
Did-
team.
like deserves a
Winning
raise
gold
because they
medals.
might like obviously like we all remember it, but as far as like year to year and like scandals or whatever, like that's pretty
I
much
think-
about as forgotten as it
But-
can be.
That one was a little different because, like, Ray Rice just got straight up like done. People were done with him, but Joe Mixon was in college still.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason because they were all like, "Oh, he's 20."
But anyway, continue. I feel like, or do we still have more to say about the Luka trade?
No, I think we all expressed that it was a garbage trade through and through.
Yeah.
No, it's
For-
completely garbage.
for-
The only thing that makes sense to me is if this GM is going to like take over for Rob Pelinka in like 4
Yeah.
or 5 years or something, and he's just colluding with him so that the
Yeah.
Lakers are stacked once
Yeah.
he goes there.
Pulling like a
or-
Derek Jeter type thing.
I heard
Yeah,
something
he's-
about Dallas and moving to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
being
that was the
something.
thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Apparently,
like,
their
a lot of theories
new
going on.
owner is
I will say
interested
this
in that.
though. I think that the reason for the Luka trade was for the guidance of Bronny. And that wait, didn't he just have like his first 3-pointer in a game or something of that sort?
Yeah.
Yeah, most
So
yeah
it's-
most
it's-
percentage.
most of the time.
Yeah, I know that, but it's for his development, being around a great player, and he's starting out young as well.
No.
So granted,
No.
I couldn't tell if you're being
Hey,
serious
so
or
the
not.
Lakers-
Brady is not much better than Seth.
Oh no, I don't think. I don't think.
not saying
I'm not
much.
saying. I'm saying the reason for them doing it. I don't think he's gonna be a great
No.
player, but if he is,
I don't think he's going to be a below average player.
Well, shit, we'll fucking find
He
out.
won't be. He
and,
won't be.
and if I'm
Dude,
right,
he's not
He's
supposed
worse
to play.
than Thanasis.
As soon as
we're all
LeBron,
right.
as soon as
$1,000 from each.
LeBron retires, which will probably be
Saw that. $1,000. What's the bet again?
If Bronny,
Said Bronny has to be
If
great.
Bronny, no, if Bronny,
Oh, wait, no.
Said great.
What's
The words you
What's
use
the
are
for his
great.
benchmark?
development as a great player. If it's the reasoning behind,
What kind of subjective?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, next year he averages
That's like an
1.3 points per game.
I would almost bet it. I'm not actually gonna shake on this, but I'm exaggerating. I would almost bet $1,000 that Bronny never averages more than 5 points a game for his team.
Yeah.
You know what?
Never.
No, you know what point I heard about Bronny too? Someone
Take that.
Someone
better than Marcus
Dude,
Jordan.
take that, Evan.
Marcus Jordan.
He's not gonna.
UCF.
Fave won't pay you. Fave won't pay
Someone-
you. but you
someone-
saw it.
What do you
Someone
mean?
actually-
I'll pay you in
I got the
payments.
money.
I know you got the money, but
I'll pay you in
I'm not gonna
payments.
pay you. I mean,
If it
so $1,000 for what are we?
10 years.
Someone-
10 years from
I-
now,
Yeah,
you're
I know.
gonna be like, oh, Bronny's still.
Bronny-
10-year bet. We got the 1,000, and then what do we bet on?
I don't.
You
Your
said
opinion.
great.
I said
No, there has to be a
I said the
benchmark.
reasoning behind them putting Luka on the team was to develop him as a great player.
You can't bet on that.
I didn't know. If
You
we
might
were
as well
betting.
pay him the
No,
$1,000
no, no,
right
no,
now.
no,
Bronny being good.
He said,
Yes, that is what I'm betting on.
Okay, but
Bronny
what's-
in the future being a better player or a great player? The reason to have Luka is
better
for a
player
mentor.
and better player and great
What do you
player
say?
is a stretch.
Six
Yeah.
man.
Oh.
6 man. Is that your category?
Yeah.
Or what do you say?
So we got
better
5
players?
No,
players
what's-
here. I'm saying that Bronny becomes a significant piece in the Lakers offense, if not in the NBA.
Okay, but define significant.
Yeah,
like I
okay.
feel like there has to be a there has to be a statistical benchmark.
'Cause there's some
even,
people-
or
Or
even,
just a minutes.
yeah, minutes
benchmark.
played,
How
minutes
many
played.
minutes is he going to play on a winning team?
Okay, then
Or
I'll say
that.
this. Even though we talked about All Stars the other game, maybe what would you consider significant? 3 All Stars, even though that's fan based.
he'll be
If you're saying Bronny James,
He'll be lucky if he makes it into the celebrity All-Star game.
$1 I make for the remainder of my life that man will never make an All-Star game.
It's all fan based, so I could
NBA All Star is different.
Put it there. Yup. No, don't tell him all that.
Fabe. Fan is only for starters. If he
Okay.
Everything
okay.
else is
so.
not.
What
And
I'm
it's
saying,
only
I'll
like,
shake-
what, a
I'll shake
quarter?
It's
it
always.
out.
It's usually always dessert.
I'll shake it
Bronny's
out.
not that good.
I don't believe that.
he's not even
You
good.
just said
Already-
3-time All-Star.
No, I'm just saying, if for him to become a significant player in the NBA, what does that mean to you?
What the fuck is the NBVA?
No, fuck the NBA.
We have way more important things to get onto.
All
I
right.
want to hear. I'm a fuck.
Actually, hold on. I had one more thing. Just I had somebody use like a non, or like they weren't just saying Bronny sucks and doesn't deserve to be there, but it was Bronny. Like, think about if you just take a player who's 3 leagues below the league that he's in. If you just toss him up in that league and say he's around, like he's saying, you toss him around good players and you say, oh, he'll develop faster. That's not true. That's going to hurt a player more. If you just
yeah.
toss him up
Yeah.
among somebody 3 leagues ahead of him and say, go do it. No, it's going to destroy him in so many
And
other
that's the
ways.
thing. Do you really think that great players like Luka and I can't even say LeBron because it's his dad, so we obviously know what LeBron would do for his son. But do you really think
Get
that
him drafted
Luka
and give him
and
minutes for the
no,
Lakers?
if LeBron wasn't on the team, do you think Luka and 1 or 2 other All-Stars would really actually care to sit there and I mean, yeah, maybe they'll try to like mentor him in general, but
Bronny might
Right.
be good.
let's just write amount of money owed to Evan and Justin.
All right, we're back with some quick NFL talk. Real quick, we'll touch on Myles Garrett. That situation's pretty wild,
Considering he's probably the best pass rusher in the league currently.
other than maybe the Bosa's. But
No, I think it's definitely Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
probably it's probably Myles
Dude,
Garrett.
Myles Garrett had
Yeah.
14
But-
sacks on a team that was playing
Yeah.
against teams
What
that
I will
weren't
say-
passing.
Fun
That's
facts.
They were down by
What I will
much.
say,
He deserves it. He's been there for probably like 8 years now. Like, I mean, he's gonna.
He gave it a good shot.
They
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
have to completely rebuild the team now for the 3rd time since he's been there.
Deshaun's
It's-
done, right, too?
He's still their guy. Like they have to.
Well,
Well, he's hurt. He's not gonna play
tore
at
his
least half the
Achilles.
No,
season.
yeah, he's not gonna play.
He won't be
he's not-
playing.
yeah,
But no,
yeah.
he's like they're not.
Like they're committed to that.
Yeah.
Like Myles Garrett knows that.
Oh.
Like it's time for him to get out of there. He's, probably like 28, 29. I mean, he's only got maybe 2-3 years left of his prime. Like he deserves to.
You
spend
can't
on
be
winning
mad as a
football team.
fan.
I mean,
I don't think.
unless
And I haven't seen most of the Browns fans haven't been mad, but like it's just he deserves it. He deserves to go to a winning team and a true front office that wants to win. Because the Browns, I mean, I get it's hard to build a winning team, but like I mean they're on like almost 20 years now of failures. Like
And it's just so bad every time.
Every time,
Yeah.
like
It's like-
they're never just
It's
like
not defendable.
they're never just missing the playoffs. Like they're always one of the worst teams in the NFL.
And they made the playoffs on accident with Joe Flacco.
That's what I'm saying. Like they had like they had like
don't know
one-
what they're doing.
One
disrespect
solid year,
Joe
one
Flacco.
decent year, and then
I'm saying
just
it's an accident.
bad.
Yeah, true. And I mean, maybe this is to try and drive up the leverage and asking price and everything. But for them, for the GM to say that he still has no intention of trading him or whatever, and he believes something will get worked out, like again, maybe that's just to drive up his asking like teams what their offers are. But to say that, I feel like is just kind of slap in the face to a guy that really has given a lot to your city, and you haven't done your best to bring him in more playoff appearances and bring him meaningful football. So I don't know. I just think that's kind of stupid on their part. And I mean, what's the point of having a Lamborghini if you're living in a trailer park?
That's
You're just
true.
getting the cops called on you all the time.
Exactly.
I lived in a trailer park, and having a Lamborghini would
God.
have been pretty fucking sweet.
You'd have
You
the
probably
cops
wish you
at
had
your
food on the
place
table
all-
too.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. So I would have food on the table, a Lamborghini, and you guys would have showed up for the Halloween party. So you'd be like, "Man, Fabe's got one in the garage.
Until
Dude,
you-
this guy's sweet."
Until
All right.
That's not the trailer park people picture when they talk about trailer parks.
Well, it doesn't matter about the picture. Thing is that
We do have another,
you lived in a nice little area.
Fabe lived in a nice area. He's overreacting. We have something other huge to touch on.
Don't speak on his experience.
Sorry, Fabe's been through some shit.
$2,000 a month for my trailer park. home.
That sounds like a nice trailer.
But
Okay.
there's only-
really nice.
We are
trailer.
getting-
They're
It was
charging
only
that much.
It was only 9 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms.
Believe it or
Not
not,
even double
basement.
digits.
We were actually thinking of an amusement park in the background. So don't speak on my experience, please.
All right, what else do you have, John?
All right. Sorry, Fabius. Cooper Kupp. That's pretty huge. I don't really have much to say other than I think the Rams are smart because I think what NFL teams have been doing lately is dumb, and they wait till a player is like they're paying a player so
Yeah.
much money, and they wait till he's basically just a walking
Yeah,
corpse.
it's better to get rid of them too early than
It's
it's
that's what I'm
too
saying.
late.
Like, I could easily see the Rams getting like a second round pick or maybe like a third and a fifth. Like I could easily see that. So it's definitely smart for them to get something now as opposed to just keep paying Cooper Kupp tons of money to be the wide receiver
You know-
too.
You know what he sounds like to me? And I'm going to base it off what I said last time, too. He sounds like a Patriot.
I can
White
see it.
should
I can
not
see
be
it.
White should not be good,
I can see it.
but he'll come in and
I mean,
Elite route runner.
at this
That's
point
why-
in his career should not
oh
be good.
yeah.
Injuries and just how everything else is working out for him in his carear right now.
The part
I mean, number 2 receiver after he just broke records
Yeah.
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
What did he
The-
have, 1,700 yards?
It was like almost 2,000. It was like really close.
he had
the-
over 2K, I thought.
the part of it that's
I
interesting
know
to
he
me.
sat out like last game or two.
The part of it that's interesting to me though is how many times, like it's either teams notify like the media or whatever that they
1,947.
Oh, damn.
wow.
Crazy.
Like it's either teams notify that they're shopping a player or the player like Myles Garrett demands a trade. But how often do you have a player come out and say, like before the news is
you
broke,
don't want
yeah, I just learned
yeah.
that the Rams are looking to trade me. Everybody's like, we
That
didn't
was
know that was even
wild.
remotely on the
that
table.
was
Apparently
wild.
the Rams were pissed about that. But like,
No, I agree.
I
Let
did the
the
same
players
fucking
get on the
thing.
phone.
Power move on Cooper Kupp's part, honestly.
I
To, like,
think
really
he
get the
should
ball
have
rolling.
The same right.
Yeah.
to-
No, definitely.
They would just leak it to Ian Rappaport. so
Which
why can't Cooper
which is
Kupp
what
just say
going
that
back to
himself?
like the whole no loyalty or whatever. Like it
There's
goes
no
it goes
loyalty.
both ways.
It reminds me
Saying,
of
like,
that.
back to the NBA, there's no loyalty in any professional.
And I feel
sport,
like this-
there hasn't been, and there shouldn't be.
And I feel like the
There shouldn't
sooner,
be loyalty.
yeah, the sooner that both parties
It's a
accept
business.
that, you can actually start to work together a little
Yes.
bit more professionally.
The only time there should be loyalty is if a player plays there for 10 plus years and is the main reason you win 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Then maybe you should show a little
Multiple
loyalty.
Super Bowls.
Because
Then you should show a
Fucking
little loyalty.
blasphemy.
no, because on one end you have teams that that think
You think so?
You-
what do you think? What do you think?
here we
I don't
go.
think. Well, 3 Super Bowls is fucking tough. First of all, I know you were just
Even like 2 Super
Not to
Bowls.
Tom Brady,
I'm
it's
saying
not.
two.
so
Two or more.
So we think about Larry Fitzgerald. That's who I'd probably.
They sh-
So I mean, with
They
him-
should have traded him when he was still
As a team, that would have
He
been
is
better.
definitely
for us.
the leading
Yeah.
receiver.
his end of his,
all
his end of his
time.
career, he was
They
fucking
paid
Fabius, you missed
garbage.
hard on that one. He's not
Fabius, his
leading
end of his
receiver.
career was
What is he,
fucking
second?
garbage. Why
He's
shouldn't they?
top 3. That's guaranteed.
Now go
Look it
somewhere
up,
else.
motherfucker.
All right, keep going.
Look it up.
Why should
But-
they trade him? Well, I mean, why should they keep him until he's a fucking corpse?
You don't keep
Because
him
they
until he's
weren't
a-
going anywhere
You
with
don't
him.
keep him until he's a fucking corpse. You build around
That's
him.
what I'm-
No, but you
Okay,
can when they're
That's
that
not what I'm
old.
talking about.
What do you mean?
Rebuilding
He's a-
takes
He
years.
hasn't fucking.
Like with Cooper Kupp, should they build around him right now?
They should add some accessory
No.
pieces. Get a fucking decent running
They
back that's
have
going to last
accessory
more than
pieces.
2
They
have a good running
seasons.
back.
But no,
They
It was
have
Cam Akers for 2 years. And
Kyron
No, right now,
and now
Kyron
Blake
Williams
Bortles, and
is
now Blake
And
solid.
That's the key. That's the key statement. And now. So you got.
So they have two. That's what I'm saying.
Cam Akers and then this guy.
Kyron
and then
Williams.
This, and then this
No,
guy.
Fabe,
and then this
you
guy.
didn't hear me. They have an all-pro running back and a Pro Bowl worthy running back on the roster right now.
and an all pro worthy
Bowl
receiver.
right now.
Pro Bowl.
Puka
we
Nacua.
talked about this last episode. Pro Bowl is kind of fucking 50.
Fine, he would be an all-pro
Okay.
if he wasn't behind Kyron Williams.
Okay, but when we say Pro Bowl with him, like it's
He's a backup.
Yeah.
He's a little more significant. You were.
It's Blake Corum. He was running back 1 in the draft.
And I will
class
say
last
this:
year.
to not be loyal to Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, what did he have? How many drops did he have throughout his career? He had
More
less.
tackles
Yeah,
than drops.
I know.
He
Yeah,
had
I
more
agree.
tackles than drops. So that's one of those guys where that you look at him. And I will say this: when it's time to move on, it's time to move on.
That's
but
what-
the issue with the NFL, and the issue with a lot of places or a lot of businesses is that they think, oh, it's time to move. He's getting old. But we have this idea of old in our mind, but we don't have this idea of production
There should
and
be
what the
an
fuck
idea.
that they're
Hey,
doing.
No, that's
Trying
what we're
to
talking
say-
about. We're saying the
Name
production value
solely
has dropped
based
so
off-
hard
yeah.
you won't
You
get any
also
return.
didn't bring up.
Name a wide receiver.
He's number 2.
He's number 2. You said he wasn't what?
I said he wasn't number 1.
Fabe,
And then
name
what did you say?
I said I thought he was 3.
Yes.
I thought he was 3. My bad.
So top 3 guaranteed. So he
Yeah.
was the top 2 guaranteed. So
All right.
yeah, that's what loyalty.
Fabe, name a wide receiver.
I don't-
Name a
you're
wide
not-
receiver who has had more than 3 years of elite production after the age of 30.
Terrell Owens.
Elite production. Did he after age of 30?
Yes.
His career was only like 12 years.
I doubt that.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
He played
Terry-
at a time when he
Terry
was playing
Holt.
Plumbers.
Okay. We're
do
not
you want-
talking about fucking Jerry Rice, bro.
I said Terry. Not Terry Holt.
Like, there's levels to this shit.
Tory Holt. That's
No.
Smith. Receiver Smith. Steve Smith.
He fell off hard.
Or after 30.
Yeah.
Steve Smith. I can go.
Fabe,
He fell
Larry,
off hard
Larry
at 30.
Fitzgerald is a legend.
and I'm not arguing against
Absolutely.
that.
My argument right now is that,
The Cardinals were
Look
going
up the receivers I
nowhere.
fucking said after
wait. Let him
30.
finish. Let him
Hey,
finish.
but the Cardinals were going. But my point is, if those teams were going absolutely nowhere,
I need to finish.
Fabe. No, wait, absolutely fuck you. The Jerry Rice, they got rid of his ass around
Yeah.
his
You
age
said
30
after
season.
30.
They were like, you know what? We don't need, we shouldn't put our whole time and effort into getting this guy back because we aren't ready to win Super Bowls. That's what the Cardinals should have done with Larry Fitzgerald. That's what I'm fucking saying.
Randy.
You don't run them. You don't run wide receivers or any players into the ground. That's something with Cooper Kupp. It's smart to trade him now. You don't run them into the ground.
How old is Cooper?
31.
30, 31.
Why,
And
why play out
30
his
and 31
contract?
with injury
And he has shown
history.
Why
He
play out his
showed
contract?
They're fine
downfall.
with taking a massive pay cut.
When did he
If
get
you take a
drafted?
massive pay cut,
No,
I'd keep
that's
his
where
ass.
Why would he though?
That's-
He's
that's-
31 guaranteed.
That's
20
like when
million.
Brady thought about leaving.
But no, that's why
Not gonna leave.
going back to what I was saying,
Randy
there
Moss.
there has to be a mutual understanding on both parties about in the Cardinals situation. Yes, they probably could have done well to trade him and say, "Hey, we appreciate everything you've done for this organization, but it's in our best interest to start over and get a younger, better at this point receiver, and maybe we can try to trade you to a situation
Imagine
where
Larry
you have a chance to
Fitzgerald-
go finally win a
Imagine
ring."
Larry Fitzgerald
trade value after he was a first-team All-Pro and 1,800 yards.
I'm not saying you trade him there. I'm not saying you trade him there. But I'm saying the Cardinals were never really going anywhere with him. I think,
What, after the Super Bowl?
yeah, that's something after the Super Bowl. He's still so elite. Like, he wasn't taking them anywhere else. Why not get something back? Like, that's what I'm saying. Teams hold on to their stars too long sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but not anymore. Like that's why loyalty. It's like
And
it's getting thrown out the window, and it should be.
The biggest
They're
thing
getting
with-
paid so much money. If you're not performing, you shouldn't be good.
One of the bigger things too with
you
that,
shouldn't be
like,
getting paid.
and it's not even just like dumping off a player because it's getting old. It's also because when you do dump off a player that's getting old, maybe starts regressing, you can bring in usually if you get 2 picks or like maybe a guy, that's 2 or 3 young guys you're getting in return to fill other pieces.
That's what I'm saying. Like Cooper Kupp right now is a 31-year-old. I think I don't want to say totally easily, but I would be shocked if they got anything less than like a 3rd and a 5th. That's 2 potential all-pro players right there. Like those aren't day 3 picks. Like those are solid picks. Like that's kind of what I'm getting. Said like a lot there. That's what I'm getting at though. But it's like why? I said it again. Why wouldn't you get something for the player when they're worth
Wow,
something?
you still have
Yeah.
value there.
Instead of just pay a bunch of money for a guy who's like I said, your wide receiver too.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
Super Bowl prediction.
Yes, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl prediction.
All right, do we want to just go down the line real quick
start
and
off
then?
with you, Evan.
Okay, I'm gonna go Eagles. Oh wait,
Okay.
And we hear the score.
yeah, I'll go Eagles.
Respectable. Okay.
I'm gonna
Write it
go
down. Write it down.
I'm gonna go-
Write this down.
31-27.
31-27. That's respectable.
Yeah.
31-27. I don't think the Eagles are scoring 31, but I respect it. A close game, I respect it.
I'm just gonna predict this now. Justin thinks the Eagles are gonna win.
Okay. Bold.
That he's predicting that Justin will predict.
All right, Evan, when
You just
Guys,
said
we'll
what?
say each
You
other's
said
prediction.
31-27, and then you said, I don't think the Eagles are going to score 31. So you think they're going to win with that?
That doesn't mean that.
No,
Yeah,
that's
so
not.
if I, yes,
He could say I think the Eagles will win, but it'll be like 17-14.
That's not what I said. I said he doesn't. He thinks that they're going to win. He thinks the Eagles are going to win. That's what I just said.
What do you got,
I thought you were saying they.
roll with it.
Oh wait, never mind. I misheard you.
Yeah, you did. Shut the fuck up. Oh, you're up there?
I'm the 10.
Fabius.
Yes.
Speaking of light.
Fabius.
And
2 options.
Justin, what do you got?
All right.
We'll come back to it.
falling down. Love forever's
We're gonna flip a coin for fate.
All right. I got Chiefs over Eagles. I think the Chiefs are just way better, and Patrick Mahomes is a proven winner. And Super Bowls are usually close, and in close games, Patrick Mahomes wins. I got Chiefs 31-24. I think there's a decent amount of defense play. There's no shootout is happening. 31-24 Chiefs.
You ready?
38.
Talking like
38-29 Chiefs.
29.
Is that gonna be a scoregami?
Probably.
Best scoregami ever. Hey, if you're watching this, all
For
3 billion followers.
We just hit 3 billion.
Seth, what do you got?
Hate to say it, Chiefs 3-peat. 27-24.
If the Chiefs don't three-peat, I got my score here. 27-21.
That's a good one.
You say 27-24?
It's a respectable one.
27-21 Eagles if the Chiefs don't win.
All right, Ethan. Let us know, brother.
Oh, yeah.
What you got?
Chiefs 3-peat, and there will be controversy.
There's a mic in your face.
There's not a mic. Ethan, speaking to the mic.
I'm right.
Ethan.
Can't see it.
Ethan.
Hey!
Oh my gosh.
mic. This is a
Is it
I'm gonna
okay?
go with
We got this from
The Philadelphia Eagles, and this is mostly based off I don't want the Chiefs to be in any conversation with the Patriots. I'm going Eagles,
Respect.
32-28.
Yep.
not a bad score. Not a bad score.
Respectable.
I think we all want the Eagles to win.
I meant 31.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want
30,
Eagles to
30.
win.
I don't know why I said
No.
2. I meant 1. I did some football math in my brain.
If-
32 is hard to get to.
Can't wait for the Eagles to go for 2 at the end to get to 32 instead of 31.
If the Colts were playing and the Saints were playing, it would be 31-17.
Shut up. Fuck the Saints.
15 years ago, if that was just a prediction of mine, 15 years ago,
I'm feeling.
right.
31-17.
All right, well, next we have.
I like how we're all keeping it close, though. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
It'll be a good game.
It might be a Peyton Manning, Cam Newton type deal.
I mean, they're both young quarterbacks, so not
Yeah.
quite, but I get what you mean.
I'm just saying, just a fucking blowout. That's what I was going.
Actually, wasn't that like more like that was more like a defensive game, wasn't it?
That was Von Miller had like 4 sacks.
Yeah. But next we have parlay, a quick little parlay that we put together.
Parlay.
I'll start. We'll just go down the line and say
We'll do this really quick for rapid speed.
yeah.
Follow
Okay.
this. Follow this. if
There's
you
5
like
of us. We made
money.
No, tail this. Obviously, tail this. We're going to win you money.
There's 5 of us. There are 6 picks. One of them was a freebie. Patrick Mahomes over a half passing yard. My pick was Travis Kelce to get a touchdown, rushing or receiving, because it's Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl.
Baby,
what'd
say
you-
your pick. I want him to say it.
Oh, Saquon over 130.5 rushing and receiving.
Dallas Goedert over 52.5 receiving yards.
I don't usually like to cheer for players to fail, but Devontae Smith under 4.5 receptions.
Loves to cheer for players to fail.
Love it. Division.
Lock it in. Kareem Hunt is punching in a touchdown.
Guaranteed.
Okay, hell yeah, dude.
Hey, Toledo Rockets, baby.
Hell yeah. Hey,
Shout out to
with the
Toledo
title.
Rocket.
and now
Carrito.
Now it's time to have some fun, boys.
we're going to rip another draft because we enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, and we might make it in every episode thing, might not, but it was a lot of fun. Today we're going to do the worst trades ever draft.
Shout out Luka for the inspiration.
Yeah, shout out to Luka for the inspiration. This is not one sport only or even sports only. This is anything. Worst trades ever draft. Seth started first last time. We're going to start with Evan first this time. Evan, round 1, pick one. Let us know.
I'm gonna go with the Babe Ruth Red Sox to the Yankees trade that started the curse of the Bambino.
God damn it.
I didn't even write that one down.
Elite, that is the best pick.
Wait.
Evan won the draft already.
Curse with Bambino, does that...
No, Evan, tell us about the trade. This is insane. Tell us about the trade.
The Red Sox traded Babe Ruth, and it was like $100,000 or whatever.
No, the Red Sox traded just Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
$100.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
They
Oh yeah,
traded
I forget the times.
They traded Babe Ruth for $100,000 to fund a musical.
That's what it was. Yeah, to fund Broadway. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
they,
yes.
They traded Babe
They had
Ruth-
money like
traded
that back
Babe
then.
Ruth for $100,000 to fund a musical for the owner.
Yep. And
That was my pick.
and it
That
started
Sounds like
the
our
best
current owner.
and it started the
yeah.
curse.
Traded away Mookie to fund a soccer team in Europe.
and it started the curse of the Bambino. But Fabe, keep us going.
I got Herschel Walker. For Isaac Holt, Davey Howard, Darren Nelson, Jesse Holm, and Alex Stewart.
Also,
That's a bad
I'm gonna
one.
add in more if you don't
That's
have
a
it.
bad trade.
It was
That's
also
a bad
3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and it sparked the Cowboys' '90s dynasty.
All right, Ethan.
So is it a bad one still, Justin?
All right, Ethan, keep us going.
Love you, baby boy.
I'm gonna go Russell Wilson to Denver.
That good pick.
Russell Wilson
Good
to
pick.
Denver, which it ended up not being as bad as we thought it was gonna be because somehow they're great this year.
Round 1, that might not be the best pick.
No, but the
Yeah.
main reason I went off of it was because if you looked at it in that moment and what it was supposed to be like, that's really what I was looking at. They traded for 3 players, 3 starters, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and a 5th for Russell Wilson, who's coming off his worst season of all time. That's the kicker to me. Russell Wilson was coming off his worst season ever, and he also won a Super Bowl posting a 67 passer rating. So he just had a bad season before.
What you got, Justin?
All right. We had a big one. Probably one of the most memorable trades in MLB history. The Yankees get
A-Rod and cash
in exchange for Alfonso
Soriano and Joaquin Arias. A-Rod went on to win a few gold gloves, thinking MVP. Sorry, Loki, bad Yankees knowledge, kind of drunk. 2 World Series, important part of the team. Probably one of the worst MLB trades of all time.
That was a big one for us as an organization.
Seti.
Fuck, I'm trying to look up who he was traded for, but the Browns getting Deshaun Watson.
That's a good one. That's a good first pick.
have
I
a
forgot
big
about that.
steal, big
But no,
steal.
it doesn't even matter
I was
what they
gonna say,
got
I
for
don't
him.
know if I
'cause
need to find.
yeah, no.
The Browns,
Yeah.
In
What was
exchange,
They
traded
traded away
for-
their future.
in exchange for Deshaun Watson, the Texans got 3 firsts, which were used to select C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell, 1 third and 2 fourths for Deshaun Watson.
All right, and to start off round 2, what else you got?
And then I'm going Bucks related, old school,
Ooh, I think I know this.
Kareem.
Oh no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Kareem who?
I'm not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor. But I don't know if there was a rift with Kareem and the owners or management at the time or what. I think it's something along those lines.
I think it was, yeah.
But man, I know I saw it was
Yikes.
the 2 names I could kind of remember were Brian Winters and Junior Bridgman were 2 guys we got in that trade who were solid players, but
Yank Kareem.
not Kareem. Already won a championship with the Bucks. Went on to the Lakers to win 5 more.
It's because Kareem cared too much about injustice and not enough about putting a ball through a hoop. Focus on what really matters. Putting a
you
ball
know
through
what?
a hoop.
All right,
still
Justin.
won 6 championships.
All right, Justin, keep us going.
I got a really big
Rex
one.
director.
Dip in something we don't talk to a lot. The Leafs trading Tuukka Rask
To the
for Andrew Craycroft. Tuukka Rask went on to win how many Stanley Cups?
No, he wasn't part of the Stanley Cups, but with the Leafs, he eliminated the Leafs in the playoffs like 5 times.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He didn't win a Stanley Cup?
No, we lost. We lost.
Jesus.
Cup.
All right, never mind. But still, I mean,
But
one
he's-
of the best goaltenders in that era by far.
It wasn't when we lost. It was not his fault.
And the Leafs traded him away for pennies on the dollar. A guy who never panned out and maybe played on the Leafs for another season. It was one of the most, probably one of the top 3 most lopsided trades in NHL history.
Ethan, pick 2.
I have Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce to the Nets for
Yeah.
Big
nothing.
one.
Traded away the Nets'
thought about
future,
that one.
and we ended up getting Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I saw that.
that's
Big
insane.
Like, 12 years later, got a championship out
yeah,
of it.
like it's nuts. And the Nets, like, yeah, they kind of have done they've done okay, but it's what destroyed their
Yeah.
entire franchise.
Yeah. Fabe?
I got one for Justin, actually. Trent Richardson to the Colts.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Well, I feel bad for Trent Richardson, a promising back out of college from Alabama.
Who won the trade?
I don't know. They both fucking sucked. They both
I
sucked.
wouldn't call that a lopsided trade.
Yeah, but they both sucked.
They both,
It's a bad trade.
No one benefited from that.
Nobody,
trade.
yeah, nobody
that's
benefited.
Yeah.
It set us back a few years in the running back category.
All right, I'm going to fire off a couple here. I'm going to go, as a Bears fan, I'm going to go with the Greg Olsen trade. Mike Martz, there's a special
yeah.
place in hell reserved for him for trading away a Hall of Fame tight end simply because he somehow didn't fit his offense.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go Kobe for Vlade Divac in the draft on draft day.
Yeah,
That's a really
Yeah.
that
I
is
really
bad.
thought about that, but my only
Rest in
reasoning
peace,
was
Bean.
Once again, the Lakers fucking
Yeah.
benefiting off.
Yeah, for getting their way.
Only
reasoning was is
because a draft night trade, you really don't know.
Well,
That was my only main reason. But still,
Yeah, that's fair.
Still a
That's
terrible
fair.
trade. Still a terrible
understanding
trade.
the game at that point, I just.
I agree. No,
All right, hey,
at the time, it was a bad trade. Still, like I'm not defending it in any way. Looking back on it, agree. Looking back on it, one of the worst trades ever. In the time, trading prospect for prospect.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
Fair. All right,
But
we
lopsided-
we got to finish up though. So Fabe, last pick.
Bears trading up for Mitch Trubisky.
I wrote that one down. No, but I wrote it down for that.
Next subject.
He's a backup quarterback now. Granted, it's
That was gonna be my third one just
but
for
like, really?
Backup AFC title finalist.
Oh yeah. He's
All
got
right.
more.
All right, anyway,
championships.
Ethan.
Let us
My
know, round
last,
3.
my last one, I'm going to go honorable mention to the 76ers for trading back the number 1 pick to get the Celtics 3 and them being able to take Tatum, and they took Markelle Fultz
was
instead of
wild.
Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah,
But my number 3 is Mookie Betts to the Dodgers.
good pick.
Wow.
Good pick.
Because we
Red
traded
Sox.
for Verdugo, Kike Hernandez. Kike was garbage. He was electric again in the playoff series against the Yankees.
I do remember.
Electric then, and Verdugo was. But both not even on the team anymore. Kike went back to the Dodgers. Verdugo went to the fucking Yankees. No return on investment. They were both garbage. And like how Evan brought up Babe Ruth, now we started the curse of Mookie.
Yep.
So that's fucking awesome. I'll be long dead before we win another
Wait,
World Series.
fun fact about Mookie.
Wait, hold on,
You
dude,
know
we got to finish up.
Wait, just real quick. Mookie Betts was the football team's water boy in his high school.
That's crazy.
Did you know that? He actually he did an interview where he was the football team's water boy, and he's like, "Well, I want to get into the games free, so I'm gonna be the football team's water boy."
Wow.
Talk about being humble and a
Dude.
fucking superstar. Probably one of the best athletes in the state at the time.
Yeah.
and he does that.
What do you
Shout
got,
out to
Jess?
Mookie Betts.
All right, Justin.
What do you got, Jess?
Round 3, the worst trade of all time, and I saved it. I saved the best for last. This should have been round 1, pick one. Joseph R. Biden, Brittany Griner, a WNBA player, for the Merchant of Death. And now, what the fuck are we thinking, America? We're not trying to build our roster for the future. We're thinking championships now, and that's not what we need to do.
And now
A
Brittany,
Merchant of Death, we need that.
and now Brittany Griner just requested a trade. No joke, from her team.
we should have left her.
How many chips has she won since being traded?
Not
Zero.
a damn woman. How many guns has he funded?
All right.
Millions.
Her
All right,
voice
Seth,
is
fin-
deep.
Seth,
Fuck
finish-
her
finish us off
fucking
quick.
championship team.
Last one I wrote down was Zaza Pachulia. Hey, big locker room guy. Fans loved him. All we got was a second rounder for him, whatever. But I was looking up shit up, and I got one for Justin. Colts traded Marshall Falk for a second
yeah.
and a fifth. But that was also a
bad.
draft one, so.
So is that your third pick, Marshall Falk?
But yeah.
I agree that
Okay.
was bad.
I'll
He
go with
would
that
have
one.
easily been the best Colts of all time. Easily. The fact that he's still a top 3 rusher of all time, JT just passed him. The fact he's a top 3 rusher of all time says a lot, considering we traded him before his rookie contract was up. He should have been a Colts legend. Definitely a fucking awful trade.
All right, well, that concludes it for another episode of What's on Your Mind. Like, comment, subscribe, follow.
Louisiana.
Babe, let us see some, baby.
Yeah!
Let us see some.
There you go. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Oh my God!
Louisiana.
Demon.
All right, Ethan, send us off.
Doesn't get
Nightmare, 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 nightmare.